How's everybody doing tonight? So we're up to day 10. I don't think we've done very many long days. Half of them were probably under an hour, but regardless, it's up to day 10 on this ROKR 3D pinball. And this is looking like it's going to be one of the most complex things we've done. You can see this is just one piece. This piece has two cables coming out of it. There's a speaker here. There's an on-off switch. This one's got another piece. It's got a ball holder. It's got a ball launcher. The sidewalls are thick as a brick, nearly. There's two sidewalls there. There's more cables coming out of this, which I believe is going to be the back. Or, yeah, the back. I mean, if you were in like a arcade, soda shop, pizza parlor, this would be what you're looking at when you're playing pinball, and this would be back up against the wall. Kind of weird to be so ornate what's back up against the wall, but unless you're going to put it in the middle of the room, that's going to be the case, because I believe it's the rest is going to hook onto this side. I'm not really sure yet. I suppose I could check. Yeah, just taking a quick look at the manual. Yeah, this is what you look at. And looking at the instruction manual, I'm not going to pick it up because it's kind of far away, but there seem to be lights, and I believe we did install lights inside there. You can probably see them. They're not turned on. One of these cables is for the light. The other might be simply a power transfer. It actually looks like a cable TV, this here. I'm not sure what that is, but it's something. It actually says here, input 5 volts, 2000 microamps, or milliamps. What are they? Anyway, yeah, that's definitely power there. Sorry, I think I was looking at that off camera. Forgot. I was thinking I was on this camera. So yeah, input 5 volts, 2000 milliamps. There's 3 more slots. I don't know if anything's going to go in those. I'll give you, while we're on this camera, another look at the lights. I don't know if you can see them. The camera is still adjusting. There it is. Sorry, it's not a Sony. It's actually a Fieldwork. It's like a $300 camera. It's not a Sony. Apologies that it takes a minute to adjust. The camera's called Field World. That's why I said that word a second ago. It's actually a pretty good camera in my opinion for live streaming. Cameras 1 and 2 are both that model. I know I keep saying I'm going to do a video of the studio, and I've got it mostly filmed. I just need to edit it, so then everyone can once and for all see how the studio looks. Let me mention this before we get underway. I have a birthday coming up in 2 months. Yeah, it's less than 2 months at this point. And I'm going to turn 50. And that's going to be... so this show, right? Let's be honest. It's never had more than like on a normal night, 2, 3, 4 people are here. Sometimes on a weekend it's 5, 6, and 7. But I don't think we've ever hit 50. No, sorry, 50 would be insane. I'm turning 50 in 2 months. I don't think we've ever hit 10. I don't think we've ever hit double digits concurrent users. So I'm going to shoot for that on my birthday. So that's, what day of the week is that going to be? It's September 23rd. I don't think that's a secret, my birthday. I believe it's listed on all my social media. It's a Saturday, so that's perfect. We usually get more viewers on a Saturday. Anyway, I can set up, I don't work on a Saturday, so I probably can start early. So yeah, we're going to try to get 10. I don't know, maybe I'll send messages to my family, but I'm not sure I want to do that, because I think I want it to be like more open-ended than that. Like I want like any sort of web trolls or the type of people who are just on YouTube to have a good time. I want them to enjoy that show. I don't want them to feel like they're excluded because my family is like knows me and they're sending personal wishes. So maybe I'll tell my family, but I'll tell them like 11, and I'll tell the web trolls 10, and hopefully they show up. So I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking ahead. I noticed on some social media, it's like they'll give you that one thing, like they won't share any of your tweets or messages or anything because that's reserved for the pseudo celebrities. But sometimes person will be like, I turned 50 today. Do you think I look good for 50? And they'll spread that around and it'll get like tens of thousands of views. So I'm thinking maybe for my 50th birthday, YouTube could get me 10 concurrent people. But at the same time, I don't want to be like a charity case. So we got to make it fun. So maybe I'll schedule some guests for that day. And I think I'm going to order a model like this model. I think this is really nice, this ROKR 3D pinball. I don't want to say anything bad about it. I think it looks really good, and I think it's going to be a complex build. But this is a free model. I mean, somebody gave me this to put it together and to review it. I'm going to buy one that I want. Right now I'm looking at Halo Mega Blocks, but maybe I'm going to do something else. I want it to be something that I can do in under 3 hours, so we can just do the whole thing in one night. And then B, I want it to be just something I want. So like there was a Pac-Man arcade I did a month or so ago, and that was something that I paid for myself because I just wanted to do it. There was another one. It was a fighting video game arcade machine. That one wasn't quite as good. I think the Pac-Man one went better, but the fighting game was pretty cool. I just didn't like that it took 5 or 10 days, and it was mostly like just brick by brick, like building up the cabinet. That was kind of boring. So I'm going to try to find something. I think we're up to episode 347, so I've probably got some experience in how to pick models at this point. So I'll try to get a good model. I'll try to get the word out, and let's see if we can do it. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think, let people have their birthday. I mean, I'm not going to be sad if nobody shows up. I mean, if I do it and it's the same 3 people as every night, I mean, it's totally fine. I get it. Your time is valuable. But, if we do get a dozen people and it's a fun party, then great. That'd be nice. All right. I don't want to waste too much time talking about something that's not happening until 2 months from now. We're already 8 minutes into the show. So let's take a look at the scoreboard, and it says page 20, piece 239, day 10. We're going to 482 pieces. It estimates 12 hours. This is clearly not going to be done in 12 hours if we're already up to episode 10, which means they've already done at least 9 hours. But as I said, we've got a lot of big pieces here, and I think there's maybe one circuit board already connected, but there's going to be 5 or 10 circuit boards in this pinball machine. So this is one of the most largest, and I don't want to say complex because there's only 482 pieces. There's some word. I'm not sure what's the most this is going to be one of the most functional, assuming it works, models that I've built. It may be the most. I mean, it's definitely going to be the biggest. It's not the most pieces, but it should have a lot of functionality. As I said, there's 8 or 9 circuit boards, something like that. Anyway, let's get to look at the manual. Page 20. Is that what we're looking at? No, we're looking at page 19 here. So yeah, the page 19 is complete. All right, so we move forward to page 20. This is page 20. So one nice thing, as we've been talking, as we're doing this, is that they give you all the pieces you need right on the side of the page. More companies need to do that. What they don't do, as you can see, the staple here, ROKR doesn't do is put a PDF on the website, which means I had to spend an hour or two one weekend scanning this manual. But anyway, we've got it scanned now and we could see it. So there are all the pieces. So it's a lot of pieces. It's not a lot of unique pieces, but you see 2 4s and a 9. So that's a lot of pieces. The M board we haven't used at all. We're going to use the M board for the first time, as you see. J and K. I think we might have used K7. In fact, I think this might be K7. I'm not sure. It might be. J1. I don't think we've taken any J pieces yet. And then P58. So what is P58? We have to look. It doesn't show it as being in a bag. Usually when it's a P, it tells you what bag it's in. P58. What am I looking at there? Nail clippers? Those are nail clippers. Why the hell are there nail clippers? Anyway, I put a model together there every night, so I already have a set of clippers. I possibly don't need their clippers, but I'll look in the box for clippers. I didn't see clippers, but maybe they're there. I'll take a look. All right, so I think K7 and P8 are tools. It's entirely possible that J1 is also a tool. So the M board is really what we're working on. So those are all going to be new pieces. Let's kind of preview the page here. Is that, oh my goodness, is that the that's the whole thing. That's the pinball table, right? We're going to start building the table. This is like the surface, as someone in the comments called it a couple of days ago, field of action. This is the surface that the ball is going to move over. That's what we're about to start working on. So what I think I need to do is clear all this other stuff and let's clear this space so we can work with it. Like, we're going to need something that's the size of the table. So I think I need to move this stuff out of the way. I mean, these pieces we were just like talking about a minute ago, I'm now going to take them off of the table. Didn't mean to do that so violently, but anyway. That one's off the table. Let's clear. We're going to clear the table. And we're going to get to work on these new pieces. Kind of interesting. Let's see where this goes. All right, so now we need empty table. What is this, day 1? No, it's day 10, but we're about to start working on the surface, the playing surface of the pool table. I feel like we should wax up the entire surface. You know, we got to make, the ball's got to move around. But we'll do whatever they tell us. So what they're telling us right now is to collect all these pieces. So we're going to start doing that. So the first question is, how many pieces are we looking at here? So there's 2 4s and a 9. That's 17 pieces right there. And then there's 5 other pieces. So I think we're looking at 22 pieces here. Let me just double check that. 1, 2, 6, 10, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 22 pieces. So we're going to go from 239 to what? 261? Does that sound about right? Yeah, that sounds about right. So 261 pieces. Now I need to find these pieces. So we got this camera. It's always a question if this thing is zoomed correctly. And if it's, I could just literally move this box. I'm not going to move the camera. I'll move the box. All right. Now, is it sharp? Can it be sharper? I think that's pretty sharp. And I think that's zoomed about right. So this is the box that comes with this puzzle. And it's huge. That's why it's not on the table. So we're looking for the J board, the M board, and the K board. And we're looking for piece P58. All right, this is the K board. So, as you can see, the 2 side walls came from this board. You see them right there, where they came from. I don't know which one's which, but I guess this one goes here. Yeah, you can kind of see that. So there's the J board. Now, we still need the K board and the M board. Is this going to be... Wait, no, we need J and M. What is this? That looks like something. I mean, that might be like... This is the L board, but this might go below that board that the ball is going to move around. I don't know. So we're still looking for J and M. This is H. G. F. Alright, that looks like what we're looking for. And that is J. So I guess that's J1. That, you know, that's it. That's the pinball table right there. That's the part that the ball is going to bounce around. I believe. I'm kind of guessing, but I believe so. Yep, this is the J board. Oh, sorry. I was like over at that box and all right. So, I was over here. Oh, now I'm at the table. A minute ago, I was a little bit over the side here. So, they're not far away. You can see my left hand on the box and my right hand on the table. But I didn't move the microphone when I was digging in that box. So it sounded like I was like shouting from down in the basement or something. But anyway, I just had my head turned. The back of my head was to the microphone. So I don't know if you heard me, but I was just digging through the box. Anyway, so I found the J board. And I found the K board, which I think we already had K7. So I think this is K7. Which means we didn't even need the K board. But anyway, we still need the M board. And the strange thing is, I've went through all of the boards. And none of them said M on them. So, but there's this. I don't know if you can see this. It says MPS. Is that possibly what we're looking for? It might be, because if you look here, there's a bunch of circles, arrows, and stars, and that's what's here. So M, I guess, isn't a board. It's a bag. Well, it's sort of in between. It is what it is. There's M. Can you see that M there? It's not really clear. Let me get there. Now you can see it, right? You see that M? I think this is M. So we need M1 times 4, M2 times 4, M3 times 9, M4, and M5. So I'm just going to take this whole M board. This is what we need. Let's just say we need this. Now from the J board, we only need one piece, and it's got to be this piece. Basically, this is a very important piece for a pinball table. This is probably the most important piece. Well, chain is only as strong as its weakest link, but this is a hugely important piece. A lot's going to go on. I mean, just take a look at the J board now. It pretty much was the J board. And by the way, it's a thick board. Some of them are thicker than others. I don't know if it's the thickest, but it's thick. Okay. What's next? So P58 was clippers. We didn't find that yet. And K7. What is K7? Oh, we need the clippers to get the pieces out. And then is K7? Well, let's just take a look here at the K board. K7 is removed. you can see that this is labeled K7. And you can see that this fits here. So I'm going to subtract the piece counter, move it back to 260, because we already counted K7. Whenever we pop this out, we counted it then. That's probably not even going to be useful. They shouldn't even list it, really. It's confusing. All right, so here's the board. Here's what we're working with. Do we have it? Okay, it's inked only on one side. Good. That makes our life slightly easier. We didn't find the piece known as P58, which is clippers. I'm going to try to find that. If not, I'm just going to use my own clippers. So I lifted up all the boards already. And then here's the plastic. And I don't know, are we going to see P58 down here? Or where's P58? Wow, there's some serious pieces down here. I don't see clippers though. What was that tape? There's a roll of tape in here. Oh, here's the clippers. Basically, these are tools over here. Well, at least two of them were. The roll of tape and the clippers. There's the clippers. Well, let's see what these things even are. Well, they kind of look like nail clippers, but I don't think they are nail clippers because they're like shaped a little bit different. They're like slanted. You see that slant there? I don't know. I guess you could clip your nails with them. I don't know. I assume they work just like nail clippers. So this is how we're going to get those pieces out of this board. We're going to use the clippers. So let's grab this board and start clipping some pieces. Wow, this is such a tiny board. I wonder if we're going to use every piece on it. They're asking for what is it? 19 pieces from the M board. 4492. Yeah, 19 pieces. Is that how many pieces there are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so there's like a couple more pieces. I'm tempted to say they could be doubles, but obviously they're not because there's 4 of these, there's 10 of these, whereas actually 12 of these, whereas supposedly we only need 9. But there's 2 other pieces, and there's 2 other pieces in the instruction. There's 3 pieces here. There's a bigger circle, a bigger star, and some like arrow. I don't know why we're only using 2 of these pieces and not 3. I feel like we should use all 3, but anyway. I also can't really read the numbers on that, and I don't have the close-up camera going today, so I'm going to take this off camera for a second and take a close look. All right, so the stars are 3. The arrows are 2. The circles are 1. So 1, 2, 3. Wow. You really didn't have to be a genius to figure that out. The first row is 1, the second row is 2, the third row is 3. 4 is the big star. 5 is the big circle. 6, which for some reason we don't need, is the arrow. Does anyone feel like we could just go ahead and add 6? Maybe 6 goes on like the side. Maybe it doesn't go on the top, so we're not going to add 6, but we're going to add everything else. Now, let's see if they give us any tips on how to clip these out. All right, they do. Instructions of using nipper. It's not a clip. This tool is not a clipper, it's a nipper. Nipper pliers. When cutting, make sure the nipper plier fit tightly to the parts. Polish the leftover cutting points with a sandpaper stick. I don't think they gave us a sandpaper stick, but we'll use whatever sandpaper we have. All right, so we need to cut and sand the pieces. Suggest to press with tool case 7. Assemble all parts properly in direction. Nick, check this out. It came with these. They're called nipper pliers.
Those look like toe clippers.
That's what I said. They look like toe clippers, and they're for this. So like, this is new. Like, and this is going to be the whole table. This is going to be the table where the the pinball ball is going to move around. And I guess these are going to be like bumpers. We're going to put these into here. That's what I'm about to do.
I want to play this thing when it's finished.
Yeah, me too. All right, so I guess I start clipping off these boards. All right. I don't know how long it's going to take. Oh, sorry. I didn't have it on camera when I was showing the nail clippers to my son, but you already saw it already. It's nippers, and we're going to nip the pieces out. It's probably going to take a while to nip all the pieces out. I just stabbed myself with the nipper. So that's sharp. Hopefully it doesn't bleed. Seems like it's not going to. I don't know how long it's going to take to cut all those pieces out. So we have to grab a question deck for some entertainment while we're doing that. All right, what's the first question? What country's flag was the first to fly over the South Pole? Great Britain, Sweden, or Norway? Wow, was it really one of those? I did remember hearing that one of the Scandinavian countries was quite involved, had quite a big share of Antarctica, and the reason was that they got there first. So that makes me think that the answer is not Britain. I don't know. Sweden or Norway? I think Sweden is more known for science, so I feel like they would more make use of wow, these things were not cut closely at all. I want to say Sweden, but I feel like I want to give like a reason for it, not just say it. Wow, that's not... Maybe those tabs are supposed to stay on. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they are. Those little tabs, they're intentional. All right, so I think my answer is Sweden, but I just don't have a good like reason for it. So like normally I like to think through a question, like a philosophical question I could give you more information on. This is just kind of a guess, like which country put their flag on Antarctica first. And I don't have an interesting answer. I just remember that it was some Scandinavian country. And my guess is going to be Sweden. Though, honestly, I don't feel like I remember them very differently. Like Sweden, Finland, Norway. I think I'd just classify them all as like Scandinavia. All right, so what's the answer? In 1911, explorers Roald Amundsen of Norway and Robert Scott of Britain launched competing expeditions to reach the South Pole. Amundsen made it first in December. Scott reached in January 1912, but perished on his way out. Oh, that's sad. Wow, so I was exactly wrong. I guess Sweden, and it was the other two countries. Although one guy was named Roald, which, like, isn't that the guy from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? I don't know if he's not also from James and the Giant Peach, is he? Roald Dahl? Maybe he's not even Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know. I know there was a children's author who had that name Roald. So maybe that's the Norwegian name. I don't really know. Maybe it's a Scandinavian name. Do they have the same names in all three countries? I mean, they have different languages, right? So, but are they similar? Which is the one that sounds like English? Is it like Swedish or Norway? It's one of the... I remember one of them. I think it was like... It just sounds like they're speaking English with a funny accent. It doesn't even sound like it's a different language. I forget which one that is. I think it is Norway. Kind of makes sense now. It fits with this Norway and Britain. Wow, you don't really think of Norway as like great explorer. Well, you should maybe. I mean, Vikings had boats, you know. You've got a boat, you can go to the Antarctica. I guess we do need to give them more credit than we were. I was just thinking about that birthday episode. Maybe I should like get a book on 1973 and I could flip through that. And maybe newspapers. I don't know. I'm just thinking how to celebrate that. I mean, it is interesting. It's like a lot of times they celebrate something that's like 50th anniversary, so could be good. All right, so there's our 4 ones and our 4 twos, M1s and 4 twos. And now we need 9 of these stars, which is not all of them. There's more than 9. I got to nip away this little pieces on them because they were attaching to the arrows, so they need to be nipped away. All right. So we need 9 arrows. Let's just nip away until they fall out. But let's also grab the next question. Are they going to go flying when I nip them? Yep. Well, I don't know if flying is the correct term, but there was movement. So let me try holding this one as I nip it. I just don't want them to go flying away. Does that look correct? Does that look like the way it's supposed to look? I don't know. They don't really look like stars. They look a little weird. It's like the top is small. Like there's like 5 stars, but 2 of them are small. I don't know. These are weird stars. Hopefully they just fit in where they need to go. I don't really know if they will or not. I also think not all of them look like that. Like like some of them look like they have smaller arms on some of them and some of them don't. I don't know. They look weird to me. Feel free to have your own opinion, but they look weird to me. Let me just check if they're all 2s. Are all of the stars 2s? Well, I should have been saying are all of the stars 3s. And they are all 3s. Alright, so there's 4 of them, so we still need 5 more. Alright, let's grab another question while we're clipping away here. The first mammal was cloned in 1996. What was it? I mean, it was Dolly the sheep, right? I mean, was there another animal before that? I don't know. People always talk about that Dolly the sheep, so I'm assuming that's it. It shows you how simple the science is for cloning, though. The fact that they did it back in '96. I don't think it was even really like a clone. I mean, they call it a clone, but it wasn't cloned. It was really, as I recall, it was more like artificially inseminated, but they like used the DNA. No. That's not wrong. That's a little bit wrong. It wasn't, if I say artificial inseminated, that has a different definition. So yes, it's wrong. But it's not totally wrong. They just like kind of replaced the DNA in one egg and then implanted it as if it was like, as if the sheep was pregnant. So it's not like in a movie when you think about cloning and they show like a tube with some baby growing in some liquid or something like that. Like it wasn't that. Though I suppose they would just call that like an artificial uterus, and I suppose then, if you add the two sciences together, I suppose you would get the TV type of cloning, but that's not what they were doing in 1996. In 1996, they were basically messing with an egg, changing the DNA and implanting it into a sheep. But regardless, as I recall, it had health problems, and I think they euthanized it. So even though it sounded like they weren't doing anything that scientific, it didn't work. And by the way, I don't know why they even call it science, because it's really more like engineering. Like science, it's like you test to see if something works. But like a scientific experiment, not like that's engineering when you do, well, you know what? Because it's biology, now I'm thinking you can call it science again. Like normally when you build something, it's engineering, but now you're talking about you're not building something, you're cloning it in a sheep, and now it starts to feel like, well, maybe science is the right word. Wow, these stars, there's something wrong with them. Am I crazy? Look at this star. It's like, I think maybe there's like plastic stuck on them. Like the skinny ones don't have plastic stuck on them, but the fat ones do, which makes me wonder about that, how they were saying to sand it down. Like how much sanding are we going to need to do on these pieces? Seems like a lot. Anyway, let's see the answer. A sheep named Dolly was cloned at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. I forgot to mention the Scotland. I remembered that. I just didn't mention it. Dolly is now stuffed and is one of the most popular exhibits at the National Museum of Scotland. So, they taxidermied Dolly the sheep. Okay, you learn something every day. I didn't know that. All right, so while we're sanding these pieces, let's talk about the next question. Who was the first elected leader of the Russian Federation after the dissolution of the USSR? Well, that's an interesting question, especially when you consider the options that they give you, like Yeltsin, Gorbachev, and Putin. Okay, it can't be Putin, because if it was Putin, that would mean that Putin and Medvedev were the only presidents of Russia. But I feel like it can't be Gorbachev or Yeltsin either, because they were prior premiers. But maybe one of them carried over into the Russian Federation. I mean, Gorbachev was back at the time of Reagan. But I think he's also still alive today, is he? I'm not sure. I can't really... These are a lot to sand here. So who was it, Yeltsin or Gorbachev? First president of the Federation. I feel like I should know that answer. 92. Well, I don't think it's Gorbachev, but I more don't think it's Putin or Yeltsin. So I'm going to have to go with Gorbachev. Look at this one. Look at that how tiny one of those arms is. That can't be right. I mean, how is this the same piece as these other pieces? Look at the tiny... I mean, look at the tiny arms on this thing. How is that the same piece as these others? I guess you have to... Maybe it is. Maybe they're... I don't know. I don't know. It looks weird to me, but who knows? Maybe it's right. Anyway, I don't know how to sand these either. I guess it's just at the clipping point. That's the only place to sand, right? I mean, I think there's excess plastic molded on here, but it's only the clipping point that needs to be sanded. And by the way, we haven't placed one piece. We're 40 minutes into this episode, and all we've done is prep pieces and talk about nonsense. So this thing definitely going to take more than 12 hours. Anyway, I think I've sanded all the pieces. We're going to put them in the board in a second, but let's first see what the answer is. So our guess is Gorbachev, even though we think it's a stupid guess. All right, Yeltsin. Yeltsin became the first popularly elected leader of the Russian Federation in 1990, initially a member of the Communist Party, became an advocate for democracy. But they said 92 on the front of the card. No, they didn't say anything on the front of the card. Okay, so 1990. That's crazy. So the Russian Federation existed from 3 years before the communism fell? That's strange. Okay, Boris Yeltsin, fine. All right, let's put the pieces in. So now we got to go back and look at the instructions. All right, so we nipped them all out. Now, what are they showing us here? Is this like where to put the pieces? 1, 2, 3. That's 10. No, there's a big star. Okay. All right, let's do the stars first. All right, so M4 and 9 M3s. Are we supposed to push these through the back into the front? Let's do the big star first. All right. I'm going to put it in from the back and push it through to the front. Which way do the short arms go? This is crazy. I don't know. Am I imagining that there's short arms on this? All right. I think it's just not at the molded point, but at the plastic point. So it may not matter which direction you put it in. Okay, that looks... Well, you've got to get it smooth on top or it's going to affect play of the ball, right? I feel like there needs to be a coating layer on top. Maybe there will be. Maybe we're going to put a layer on top, but like this is going to affect the ball the way it is now. It's not completely flush. I feel like you need like a layer of something on top. Anyway, let's put all these stars in. So there's like a bit of plastic, and that should go at the bottom. The like molded direction goes at the top. There's no caution sign, so I'm assuming these stars don't have a specific orientation. You just gotta, like any side, any of the 5 points can be up, I believe. I don't know for sure, but that's what I believe. And they said to use this K7 tool to like get it all to go in there. Like, how is that K7 going to help? I guess we'll try at the end. Try to smooth it over with the K7. Alright, the plastic that hangs over goes at the back. I'm just rolling this K7 over them. I don't know if it's doing anything or not. Frankly, I felt like I had better control with my fingers. I'm just going to finger push them. It hurts my finger, though, to do that. Maybe that's the point of the tool, just so it doesn't hurt your finger. Alright, so the stars are in. There they are. I guess they're going to light up at some point. They got a little reflectiveness now. Alright. Does the circle go down here? It does. The big circle. So the big circle definitely has these, you know, it's not totally a circle. There's like square pieces at two ends. And that's definitely to catch it. So you put the stuff in through the back. I believe. I mean, that makes sense to everyone, right? Let's see if there's any confirmation in the instructions. There kind of is, because if you look at the instructions, they're not putting them in through the inked side. Yeah, right. The side is not inked. That makes it the back. Look at this picture here. This is correct. This is incorrect. I think they just mean push it all the way in. Like, push it all the way in is correct. Leave it halfway sticking out is bad. Like, who thought leaving it halfway sticking out was the way to go? Like, somebody thought that? All right, so the 4 stars, the 4 arrows are right there. Those are the 4 arrows. So let's get those in. Putting it in halfway is bad. Putting it in all the way is good. So let's use this piece. Supposedly it's going to help us to get it flat without breaking our fingers. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know if it's perfectly, fully flat, but it's good. I like it. It's an improvement over finger tight. Am I using the tool the right way? Am I supposed to like bend, like roll over it like this? Or am I just do this like I have been doing? Just push into it. I like it. It's pretty good. The board is better with this plastic than just wood. So this thing's going to have lights. It's going to have sound. It's going to have mechanics, flippers, you know, launchers, mechanical. It's probably going to be slanted, so there'll be gravity, physics. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to have a scoreboard or not, or if the scoreboard's going to function. I don't think there's a digital scoreboard. There might be a mechanical scoreboard. I'm not sure. I guess we're going to find out as we build it. Maybe on the video I showed on day 1, maybe the answer was there, but I don't remember, and I'm not going to go back and look. We'll just put it together, and we'll just be surprised with whatever we get. All right, we have 4 more pieces to put in. They're these circles, and they go up here. So there's like 3 big circles and 4 small ones, so basically it goes in the 4 small ones. It's not going in. Oh, am I putting it in the wrong spot? No, that looks right. It's not going in. Well, that's why they showed that picture. Remember that picture? Like, don't put it halfway in, put it fully in. That's why they were showing this piece specifically. because at first it doesn't go in. Wow, it's still not in. It's still not in. I mean, I'm going to break my thumb trying to get this in. All right. Now it's in. Now it's smooth. It wasn't smooth at first. I should have showed you this angle, and you would have seen that it was like a dip there. Let me do the next one. Let's see what happens. All right, then on the first attempt, let's see. Yeah, you can see that. You can see that dip. Like this one is smooth. Oh, sorry. This one is smooth. This one is not. So we got to get that somehow further down. Well, that worked. I don't know if I was risking breaking anything else. But it's smooth now. It's in there. All right, let's do the last two. Should I just go right to the hitting? I feel like I gotta kind of line it up first. I can't just go right to like smacking the thing. All right, we got a clicking sound, but I don't think they're fully in. What do you think? I think this one is not in. No, neither of them are in. You can see the difference, right? You can see these two are in, these two are not. All right, it's time. We're doing this. All right, I think we got it. Yep, we're good. Good to go. Everything is nice and smooth. Sorry, I know my finger was blocking it at some points. All right, is that it? Is that page 20? Page 20 is done? Yeah, that's it. What is on this little picture here? Oh, instructions on how to use K7. Okay, yeah, we were using it correct. Line up this circle with this circle and then pound the crap out of it. Do it from the back, and don't break the board, please. Make sure you've got it at least started. And if you do break the board, then I can't be responsible for that. Just don't break the board. What can I tell you? If you feel confident that you can drive it home, go for it. If not, do whatever method you're comfortable with. You know, different people have different ways of working. All right, we're up to page 21. So for the second night in a row, we only got one page done. Crazy, right? But it's late. You know, it's late, so I've got to go. Have a good night. I'm John Rapp. This is Just Rest Your Eyes. See you tomorrow.